Have you ever felt like you're just a passenger in your own life? Kind of just reacting to things as they come at you? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful way of thinking that basically puts you back in the driver's seat. It's called reality therapy, and it is all about taking back control by understanding why we do what we do. So let's start with a big one, a question I think we've all asked ourselves. Why do we get stuck? Why do we stay in these feelings of unhappiness or anxiety or frustration, sometimes for years, even when we're desperate to feel better? Well, the story we usually tell ourselves is, I can't help it. We tend to believe that our feelings are things that just happen to us, like I am depressed, I am anxious, as if these emotions are just bad weather that rolls in, and we have absolutely no say in the matter. But, and this is a big but, what if that's not the whole picture? Reality therapy, which was developed by William Glasser, comes along and offers this really radical and honestly super empowering alternative. It completely challenges that idea that we're just passive victims of our own feelings. And this brings us right to the heart of reality therapy, the incredible power of choice. It asks us to make what seems like a small shift in our language, but it's actually a huge shift in our thinking. It's all about turning the nouns of our suffering into active verbs. Now, this is all based on something called choice theory. And the idea is pretty straightforward. Everything we do is a behavior, and almost all of it is chosen. So what's driving these choices? Well, it boils down to 5 basic built-in needs we all have. Survival, of course, love and belonging that need to connect, power, which is really about feeling competent and respected, freedom, having autonomy, and last but not least, fun. Seriously, every single thing we do is our brain's best attempt to satisfy one or more of these needs. And this is where it really clicks. This quote just nails it. Instead of saying you are depressed, choice theory says you are actively depressing. Instead of being angry, you are angering. You see the difference? It's not a state that happens to you. It's an action, a behavior that you are, often unconsciously, choosing. Okay, so you might be thinking, how on earth is a feeling a choice? Great question. It's because our behavior isn't just one thing. It's what the theory calls our total behavior. And it has 4 parts that are all tied together: our acting, our thinking, our feeling, and our physiology, like our heart rate or breathing. They're a package deal. So picture your total behavior like a car. The front wheels are your actions and your thoughts. You have direct control over those. You can steer them wherever you want to go. The back wheels, those are your feelings and your physiology. Now, you can't steer the back wheels directly, but they always follow where the front wheels lead. So here's the kicker. If you want to change how you feel, you have to start by changing what you are doing and what you are thinking. Okay, so if we're constantly making choices to meet our needs, what's guiding us? What's the map we're using? Well, that's where this really cool concept called the quality world comes into play. I want you to think of your quality world like a special private photo album you keep in your head. It's filled with pictures of everything that makes you feel good. The people you love being with, the hobbies that light you up, the ideas you believe in. It's basically your personal vision of a perfect life. And everything you do is an attempt to make your real life look more like those pictures. So where does unhappiness come from? It's that frustrating gap between the life we're actually living and the pictures we have in our quality world. And a huge part of reality therapy is helping people get really clear on those pictures and then figure out how to make choices that bring them closer to the people and things that truly make them happy. Now, this all sounds pretty good in theory, right? But how do you actually apply it? Well, reality therapy isn't just a philosophy. It gives you a super practical step-by-step guide. It's an action plan known by the acronym WDEP. The WDEP system is this simple but really effective tool for making a change. It's basically a series of questions. We start with W for wants, move on to D for doing, then E for evaluation, and finish up with P for plan. Let's just quickly break that down. First up, W is for wants. This is where you dig deep and get super clear on those pictures in your quality world. A therapist might ask something just like this to help you paint a vivid picture of what you truly want, not what you think you're supposed to want. Next is D for doing. This is just a reality check. No judgment, no shame, just a straightforward look in the mirror at your actual behavior. What are you spending your time and energy on right now in your effort to get what you want? Then comes E for evaluation. And let me tell you, this is the absolute heart of the whole process. It's the question that connects your actions to your desires. It's so simple, but so profound. Is what you're currently doing actually working? Is it getting you closer to what you want? We're not talking right or wrong here, just is it effective? And all of this leads us to P, the plan. Because if the honest answer to that last question is no, then it's time to chart a new course. The final step is to make a simple, doable, concrete plan to try something different, to start steering those front wheels in a new, more effective direction. Okay, this all sounds really empowering, doesn't it? But we have to ask, does this highly personal, choice-focused approach work for everybody, in every single situation? It's really important to take a balanced look at it. On the one hand, the strengths are pretty obvious. It's incredibly empowering, it's action-oriented, and it's based on needs we all share as humans. But, on the other hand, critics argue that by focusing so much on individual choice, it can sometimes overlook very real systemic problems, like poverty or discrimination. It also doesn't focus much on the unconscious mind, and its very direct style might not be the best fit for cultures that prefer a more indirect way of communicating. So, after diving into the theory and the practical steps, what's the big takeaway here? When you click away from this, what's the key thing to remember about reality therapy and your own next move? All right, let's boil it all down. First, you are responsible for your total behavior, period. Because of that, the key is to focus on what you can actually steer, your actions and your thoughts. And always remember, every behavior, even the ones that seem destructive, is your best shot at that moment to get a fundamental need met. Which brings us to the most important question of all, is what I'm doing working for me? When it comes right down to it, this is the core promise of reality therapy. When you shift your mindset to focus on responsibility and choice, when you truly get that you're the one steering the car, you can go from feeling powerless to feeling a deep, genuine sense of empowerment and control over your own life. And that really brings us to the end. But in the spirit of everything we've talked about, this isn't so much an ending as it is a starting line, a choice point. So I'll just leave you with the only question that really matters. What will you choose to do next?